I tuck my daughter into bed every night. Tonight, she whispered. Daddy, check for monsters. I looked under the bed. Nothing. When I stood up, she was still staring. She whispered, Daddy, that's not what I meant. Then a voice came from under the bed. Daddy, there's someone on my bed. A few moments later, my mother came in. She smiled at the girl in my bed. Time for your lullaby, sweetie. The girl just stared, her smile wider than before. From under the bed, I tried to cry out, a muffled whimper, but the girl on the bed heard me first. She turned to my mother and whispered, Mommy, can Daddy come out from under the bed now? He's scaring me. My mother knelt down, her hand trembling as she reached for the bed skirt. What game are you playing? She whispered. The girl giggled, a soundly cracking bones. It's not a game, Mommy. My mother finally lifted the fabric. She saw me, a real daughter, and next to me, my father. He was on all fours. His head hung low. He slowly lifted his head, and from his smiling mouth came the girl's voice. Now we can all be a family. Forever. The footsteps faded. A door clicked shut. Silence. This was my chance. I held my breath, crawling past my mother's still legs, towards the sliver of light. So close. Then, a hand on the floor in front of me. My father's. He slid into my path, his smile wider than ever. My mother shipped, blocking my only way out. They weren't keeping monsters out. They were keeping me in. I bolted down the stairs, my bare feet silent on the cold wood. The front door wouldn't budge. The lock frozen solid. Panic clawed at my throat as I ran to the living room window, desperate for help. But the street wasn't empty. Other children were there, standing under the streetlights. One by one, they turned their heads, and they all had her smile. I couldn't sleep. The house next door has been too quiet. I looked out and saw the little girl in her window, her face a mask of fright. But it's what I saw on the street that froze my blood. A dozen children, standing like statues, all with the same awful smile. And behind them, a tall, thin man in a hat. He wasn't smiling. He just lifted a hand and pointed right at me. I told them everything. The girl in the window, the children on the street, even the tall man. The officer just stared at me, his pen still. An old woman's bad dream, he called it. Smiling, he told me to go home and get some rest. But as he left, I saw him pick up the phone. His smile was gone. Maybe he believed me, or maybe he knew something he shouldn't. I saw the policeman's car. He didn't believe me, but he came. From my window, I watched his little flashlight dance in the dark. He found the bear, and then they were there. The smiling children, appearing from nowhere, making a circle around him. He reached for his radio, but it was no use. Then, the tall man stepped out. The officer just stood still, and the children closed in. The line was dead. I ran, slamming bolts, turning keys, locking the world out, locking them out. For a moment, leaning against the door, there was silence, peace, but the cold wasn't coming from outside anymore, and the softest giggle I'd ever heard came from the end of my own hallway. My heart hammered against my ribs. The giggle wasn't in my head. It was there, in the hall, wearing the shape of a child, but made of night. It stepped forward, and I realized my mistake. I hadn't locked them out. I had locked myself in with it. My heart. It was a frantic drum, beating a rhythm for death. I could hear it in my ears, feel it in the floorboards. The child didn't move, just watched, smiling a smile I couldn't see, but felt in my soul. My own body was the cage now, and my heart was trying to break free.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more.